Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is the Magician. I'm feeling drawn to these like reddish pink flowers on here. Flowers are generally seen as like a Venusian thing, like a romantic thing, or just like an artsy type of thing, an expressive thing. Something pretty, something nice, something sweet. I'm also seeing the Knight of Cups here. Okay. So we have the Magician and we have the Knight of Cups. This is definitely connected with communication here. Magician is connected with Mercury, so this is about expressing something. It's like something, it can be a vision that you have, it can be an image, it can be a thought, it can be like a sentiment, something that you want to communicate, because Mercury is your brain and what's going on, like what's happening in your head, and also like how you're expressing that, whether it be through like a picture, but generally this is through like word type of communication with Mercury, or like music or something. So this is whatever craft this is, or however it is that you're putting it, whether it be like in a text message or a voice message to somebody, or like a bigger message that you want to send in a more universal even sense. It's something that one is like, I want to take what's going on here and I want to communicate that so it translates to whomever one is sending this to. So this is like a mobilization here. And this can be on a small scale, it can be on a large scale, it can be on multiple levels that you want to do this. But it's about like expressing something that you're thinking about, or something that you're feeling, something that's going on for you mentally. And this is about really wanting to, like Mercury and the Magician, it's about really creating that. So it's not just wanting to send something bland, it's like really wanting to get into the details of whatever this is that you're trying to express here. Like I really have this image in my head of us, or of like where I see myself with this person, or like what I'm envisioning for my community. So whatever this is, it's about, with the Magician, maybe something more detail-oriented that's being expressed. And it can also be with the intention of this, like adding on or creating something else. Like this may be the beginning of the snowball that's going to be happening to build something bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm also seeing the World too. So this feels like, I feel like this is starting with you and yourself, and sort of like where your head is with things, where you may really be seeing that your thoughts are creating your reality. Again, like Magician and the Knight of Cups, it's like, what am I thinking, and then how am I feeling, and what am I expressing according to that, whether it be to me and myself and what I'm seeing outside of myself, or how it be the way that I'm communicating with others. And then the World, it feels like you've accomplished something here where there's a sense of intention here with what you're communicating. So you're not just saying whatever. This is you being like, I recognize that my words and my communication, even if it's not in words, it has an effect and it does something, and that is powerful. So there's the recognition here of that, of like what your intention is and what that ends up having, the ripple effect that ends up having, whatever situations you're seeing this unfold within. And Seven of Pentacles seems like there's an intention here for you to, something is happening, but it may not have fully come to fruition, but it's sort of like in the oven currently. And I'm seeing this be connected with something that you want, but it feels like maybe you getting clear on expressing, like some of you just expressing yourself to someone or in some sort of way was an accomplishment in and of itself. Like you getting clear on, like, Magician is, what am I trying to make? What am I trying to create? What am I trying to express? Again, like, what is my intention? what do I hope to accomplish by expressing this, by sharing this, by communicating this? And then the world, it feels like that in itself was something that was a big thing for you. And then also to have the Seven of Pentacles sort of trailing after, it feels like some things have been done, some groundwork has been laid down, but like definitely more is to come. More is going to be built upon this. And there may be something that you did that you sort of like expressed or put out there in some way, and you're like, I know something happened, like I know I did something, but I don't know what exactly is going to come of this or from this. And you may have some ideas in your head of like what you want this to turn into or how you want this to go, but I'm seeing there be some unknowns still here. You're hoping for something to balance out for you, and you may be waiting to... There can be a desire for mutuality here in some way. Six of Pentacles. Like, I'm seeing you show up, but there's also this feeling of, like, you may not be the only one showing up, so this may also be, like, a bit of a dance with whomever else is going to be showing up too. Whether this be one other person or multiple people. But it feels like investing in some sort of, like, back and forth or an exchange of some sort. And it does feel like somewhat continuous as well. Also too, like what's catching my eye is that like having Magician and having the World here, this is Mercury and Saturn coming together. And so Mercury, again, is like our head and what's going on and what we're thinking about, and like thoughts, and Mercury, it's connected with things like moving very quickly and like zipping around. But Saturn is very slow moving. And so you may start to see that like stuff that's going on in your head, like it's going to materialize, but I'm seeing it's not like automatically happening. I'm seeing this is taking some time. Like it's definitely, that is definitely being reinforced by seeing the Seven of Pentacles here after the World. Like something is happening for sure, and you're probably seeing something beginning to materialize, but I'm seeing it be a bit of a process. Like it's not, what's materializing in front of you is not happening as quickly as how you're like thinking of things. So you may have like a lot of ideas or a lot of like visions that you're seeing, or like it can go this way, it can go that way, like all of this stuff. I'm kind of seeing that feel maybe like it's going a bit faster than how you may see things in a material sense sort of popping up for you. Like you may feel like they're happening at two different speeds a little bit. I'm seeing this is associated with kind of like a new thing, a new chapter, like a new vibe, maybe a new book that you're opening, a new story that you're beginning. So that's what you're creating here. It's feeling very fresh start to me. And like to have the Ace of Pentacles come out and to also have the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck, it feels like there's like really hope for expansion and for like taking in whatever it is that's going to be coming up for you. Yeah, some of you I'm seeing there be the intention of like you could be sharing with somebody in a different way or communicating with somebody in a different way, or like letting them know like, hey, this is my intention, like do you want to start a new chapter with me? I definitely feel like it's not just you. It feels like something or like someone else is involved in this in some way, even though I'm seeing like a big question mark over who's on the receiving end of this. Also too, because it's like not necessarily about them, like this is your story that we're talking about here, but it does feel like there may be a recipient of some sort. And I mean, this can also, like some of you, there definitely is another person involved, but some of you, this can be what you're communicating with yourself. Like, hey, I want a fresh start, or I want to start doing this now, or like, I know we were doing this before, but I actually think this is going to be a better fit for me, or like, this is something that I've always wanted to do, and like, now's the time to start that. And you may be like getting clear on your intentions and how you're feeling, and now you're setting up the building blocks for something here that you feel is going to be like worth your time. Like, hey, if I start putting the effort and the energy into this, I'm gonna get something back from it. Meaning, like, really anything that you could invest in that then you're gonna see some sort of result. So it's something that's going to feel worth it too. But like, whatever process this is for each of you, I'm seeing it is going to take a little bit of time here. Like, it's something that you're actually going to properly have to invest in this. But Six of Pentacles is saying that you are going to see something returned to you. That's going to feel like equal, at the very least, if not more. So it will be worth your time. And worth your energy, and worth what you put in. I'm seeing someone be curious about what you have in mind. Like, I almost get the vibe of someone sort of like hanging on your words here. Curious, for sure. It's like they want to understand sort of like what this Ace of Pentacles looks like to you. And the Ace of Pentacles is like this fresh start, or this new beginning, this chapter that you're opening. So I'm seeing someone over here being, you communicating with this person and them being like, tell me more. Like, I want to see the same thing that you're seeing here. I feel like a little bit of a playful vibe between you and this person. I was seeing the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Can be somebody that you see as a King of Wands. I'm also seeing the Page of Swords here too. It does look like something's being worked out. I feel like both of you guys communicate maybe more candidly or openly with one another, and sometimes that may lead to addressing things. It's not shying away from conflict, but rather understanding that that's just a normal part of a relationship. I'm seeing something popping up here that I don't think that it's like the end of the world by any means, but you guys may see something from two different perspectives, but it may work out to be something compatible at the end, so I wouldn't let that worry you. It feels like in the process of something happening, when things haven't fully materialized yet, it may feel like the road is getting a little bit bumpy between you and this person. But it feels more so like something to square away and address rather than an issue. Because it even feels like somebody being like, this is my vision, and another person being like, this is my vision, and there may be like a little bit of butting of heads or something like that. but there can also be compromise as well. It just depends on where everybody is. And I'm seeing like good attitudes for the most part. It seems like everybody's willing to work with everybody else here. I'm not really seeing any issues. I'm not seeing any Five of Swords here where somebody is like not really willing to be a team player. It more just seems like this isn't necessarily a smooth process with no bump at all. I'm definitely seeing something pop up here, but I'm not seeing that. Like those of you that don't mind there being like friction or confrontation or something to work out, it's just going to be like a natural part of the process. I'm not seeing this be a big deal. Yeah, I'm actually seeing it. I'm seeing Five of Wands lead to Ace of Wands. So that means that it feels like something is settled upon. Because 5 can even be like, which one of these are we picking out of everything? You know, like who's gonna win? Like which wand is gonna win here? Meaning wands have to do with like passion and opportunity and what somebody wants to do and what they want to grow. Like think of it like a tree that's being planted. So it's like, which of these trees are we going to plant? And having the Ace of Wands come out after, it feels like one thing is decided upon here, like one thing is brought up or one thing is presented, and then it's like, okay, we can both agree on that. But it's like everybody needed to get all of this out and voice their opinions. And I really like this vibe too, because it feels like you feel strongly about the stuff you feel strongly about. They feel strongly about the stuff that they feel strongly about. And both of you guys are presenting that to one another rather than hiding, or rather than like appeasing the other person and then later on being like, well, I wanted to do this. You know what I mean? It's better to just get it out in the open. But I guess also too, that may just be my stance on things. But it seems like this is better to just deal with it now. Anyway. Because then you're going to know what it is and what's going on here. And whether or not you want what's being presented. I feel like you're going to have the opportunity to size something up and see if it's going to be worth it to you, and you get to choose what you want it to be. Because I feel like you're kind of playing the long game here, where there's something bigger that you have in mind that you're like hoping these pieces that you're moving around are going to add up. But like if I do this, I'm trying to get involved with this, I'm trying to make it turn into that, and like hoping this leads in this direction. So I'm seeing like this vision that you have of yourself, and sort of 10 of Pentacles feels like where you're trying to land with all of this. And I feel like you're working out whether or not this situation is going to be something that can take you there, essentially. But you just want to keep in mind, like really your values. I'm seeing that be definitely an important thing here. And this is feeling a bit like a relationship of some sort, regardless of like what type of relationship this is. It feels like there's an exchange going down. And so I'm seeing the main thing that your guides are like advising you about here is to make sure that whatever opportunity is presented to you, make sure that you feel like it's worth your while. You don't want to feel like you're like shorting out or like cheaping out on yourself, or being like, they really want this, so I'm just going to go with it, when you're not actually okay with it. If you're okay with compromising and you can do it happily, yes. But if somebody has like one idea of how they're going to show up and you have another, and it's irreconcilable in some way, it's something to keep in mind, because it's going to catch up with you sooner or later, and it's not going to add up. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something to be mindful of, okay? So don't take something on if you're not like thrilled about it, essentially. Because you want to feel enthusiastic about what you're involved with. Otherwise, it's all going to start tasting kind of bland. Unless that's what you want to, which just a preference thing. And I'm seeing strength on the bottom of the deck, and I've been seeing this like a few shuffles. And so this is feeling like really needing to trust yourself and recognize what you prefer and maybe like make hard decisions when they're coming up. And to also just respect naturally how you're feeling and that sort of thing. Let me see if there's anything else. Don't take on too much at once. Don't stress yourself out. It does seem like this process is going to clarify where this person stands for you. I'm definitely seeing a confirmation, a conversation that's going to unfold. Yes, I'm definitely seeing there be a conversation. What is with this? It seems like it's about what one is aiming for long term, and it's going to be like, this can be like, where do you see yourself, and where do you see yourself, and trying to figure out something like that. It's like, what's your ideal? What's your ideal? That sort of thing. Go gently with this, okay? Yeah. Go gently and just be open to sort of things shifting around and moving around, and allow it. Because sometimes too, when we have ideas and we hold on too tightly to certain things, like it has to manifest like this or it has to go like that, we don't leave room for other things that may actually be a better fit for us. So just keep that in mind as you move through this, okay? Be flexible, but not so flexible that you're breaking, okay? Finding the balance. But yeah, for those of you that like something needs to be clarified, I'm seeing that there's going to be like a discussion of sorts between you and this person that's going to, you guys are going to see where each other are with things, all right? Okay, my friends, we're going to leave the reading here. I'd like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.